Did you know that you have a writer within? Yes, you've got this voice inside of you that is just waiting and dying to come out. But you know what? I don't always invite her to come out and play. In today's episode, I want to talk about how we can create intentional invitations, intentional space for that inner writer, that writer within, to come out, show us what she's got, and give her space to voice herself and be heard. I'm really excited you're here. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of The Written Compass. I hope this episode is finding you right where you are and supporting you just as you need to be. If you are new to The Written Compass, hi, I'm Dr. Shana Hartman, PhD turned embodied writing coach, and I'm super glad you're here. If you are one of my longer term listeners, hi, I'm so glad you're here as well. And today is going to be tapping into a little bit more of the embodied elements of the work that I do with my writers. I was recently having a conversation supporting another colleague, another coach, for some market research she was doing. And it was really interesting when you hear yourself talk about what you're doing. And it really sparked this idea for this particular episode. And so I'm titling it Invitation to Your Writer Within. And that is on purpose. And hopefully by the end of this episode, you're going to have some really clear ways to get started with really honoring that inner voice within and how to actually create an invitation for it. So let's dive in. So I want to talk about and speak to a really particular part of you. So if you've been around before, you know that I truly believe we are all messaged beings. I think we all have amazing things that we are supposed to share in the world. It kind of goes along with the idea that we all have a purpose and really are here to honor that purpose, live out that purpose to the best of our ability, and share that with the world. And I really do think that as well in terms of our voice and our words and our messages from our lives, our experiences, our careers, our upbringing, all the good things. So I really want to, if I had you in front of me, I would really be looking into your eyes, your beautiful eyes, and really getting connected to that inner part of you, that inner voice, that part of you that's really teeming with ideas and creativity and ahas, that part of you that really, really, really wants to share these ideas with others. Yeah. Hello, I'm calling her forth. And a little side note today, I'll probably be using she, her pronouns. Those are the ones that I identify with the most. But you can imagine and mentally insert your preferred pronouns as I talk. So I want to personify today this inner part of you, this inner voice, this inner writer. Why do I want to do that? Because we often think of creativity or writing or being a writer as something you either are capable of doing or not, something you are or you're not. And this is what we call like very polar type of thinking, right? It's got a polarity to it, a binary. It's either or kind of thinking. And this really encompasses a fixed mindset. And what I mean by that is that with a fixed mindset, if you kind of approach writing with a fixed mindset, you kind of either believe that you either got it or you don't. And if you're not sure if that's kind of the way you think about it, then you might ask yourself this question: do I believe some people are just, quote, born writers? And depending on your answer to that question can tell you if you potentially have a fixed mindset or certain belief around writing. And guess what? That belief, right, up until now, has been impacting your ability to tap into and activate and bring forth that writing within, that voice within. And so I want to invite you to open up and expand your notions about this today and about writing, particularly your beliefs around your writing and those writerly parts of you. Because here's the thing. Are there absolutely times, raise your hand if you felt this, where you just get what feels like kind of this random, powerful hit, right? I call it like my intuitive hits of like, oh my gosh, I have this most amazing idea. This story came through or whatever it may be, and I need to write this down right now. And we get in the flow and the words come streaming out. It's almost like we can't help it, right? Fingers just fly across the keys, or we send ourselves a voice message and we just go and go and go, or we put pen or pencil to paper and we just fly, right? And that is good, 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 good stuff when that happens. And then there's times, raise your hand if you feel this, when we're just not feeling it. We ain't feeling it. You sit down, or maybe you never sit down and nothing is coming. You just are sitting there feeling kind of like a blank slate. And this is where I want to get curious today around the idea of inviting that inner writer within to come and play. How can we invite this writer within to come out and play? So think about it. If we wanted to hang out with a friend, right, or visit a family member or go on a date, would we just sit and wait and hope that it happens? Would we just go about our regular day and go, well, I want to do this, but we'll just see, right? No, you would need to, or want to, or try to take some really intentional action to actually make this happen, to actually create an invitation. And I got really curious around this because I've had the privilege as of late to visit some lake homes of some friends and Airbnb and all that kind of stuff, and take my kiddo and just be in that environment. And creating that space for myself really invited this inner part of me, this inner writer, to come out. I've noticed it too when I shift my setting a little bit and maybe go work in a coffee shop for a few hours, or when I go and do some ballroom dancing. If you guys haven't noticed that I do that, any kind of dancing, then go follow me on Instagram at @ShaynaHartman_, and you'll quickly see what I'm talking about. But there's this way that I've noticed that when I actually create an invitation, an opportunity to activate that inner creative part of me, a lot of really powerful things show up. So I want to give you 3 ways to kind of create this invitation for your inner writer. Okay. So first is being open and receptive. So there's a little bit of shifting in mindset from that fixed mindset to the growth mindset. If you feel like you are maybe in more of a fixed mindset, how can you start to be open to the idea of, I am a writer. I have important things to say and share. I am receptive and open to what wants to come out today. I'm curious what might show up today, right? So giving yourself some personal prompts, some questions, steal the ones I just shared, but really being open, like starting with yourself first, being open and receptive to what wants to show up. Right? Versus an outside in where I think, I've got to get this draft done. I've got to get this chapter done. Okay, now let me reverse and go in and find it. You see how it's a little bit different, and notice the energy, just how you feel with that second example versus just the questions I was asking you where we started within first. That's tip number 1. Be open and receptive. Create space for it. Ask yourself powerful questions or prompts to kind of tap in and activate that writer within. She's there. She wants to speak. She wants to be heard. And when we personify her and ask her questions, right, it allows us to create that openness, that receptivity for the words to show up. Opportunity number 2, or tip number 2, is to intentionally put yourself in spaces, moments that inspire you. When do you go and do a thing, be in a certain space, and you just are feeling all sorts of things, lots of emotions show up, lots of ideas show up? When does that happen most for you? And how do you feel when you're in those spaces? And then how can we embody that feeling? If we can't necessarily do the space all the time, how do we embody that feeling on a day-to-day basis? So an example is when I was in these lakefront, beautiful spaces most recently, I took a lot of pictures. I took a lot of videos of water lapping against the shore and the dock. And I took a lot of pictures of myself sitting with my coffee and my day book, looking out at the water in the morning when I was doing a meditation or just doing some writing. And now I have those. So I can access that feeling that I had, even if I can't necessarily be in that space. And this is a both and I am looking how I can intentionally create those same spaces over and over again. Can I go sit in a restaurant that overlooks some water, right? Can I have more opportunities to go and visit places and spaces that activate this for me? Whatever it is for you, maybe it's going to a museum, maybe it's going to a show. I recently got connected with some people who are really into live music, and it just does something for them. So whatever your thing is, intentionally put yourself in the spaces or embody the feelings those spaces create to inspire you, to invite your inner writer to come out and play. Okay, that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is to consistently plan. So this doesn't mean scheduling on top of, it is to consistently and intentionally see where in your regular everyday life you have these moments where you can invite the writer within. One thing that I find is, I'm a mom, I do car writer line stuff, right? Drop off, pick up, all that kind of thing. Kid is in activities. There are some gaps in time where I'm either driving by myself and I could talk to myself, literally. I like to use Voxer or Otter AI, which will transcribe what I'm saying and get some words out, right? It's quiet. Maybe I'm in a waiting time and there's not a ton, I can't necessarily pull out the laptop because I'm in the car. But I do have a little bit of space and it allows me to go within and just connect for a moment. So I often remind myself, okay, later today, I'm going to be picking up, my son. So let me use that time, that opportunity to maybe get some words out, right? If they're coming. I'm consistently planning those spaces. So I'm looking in the months ahead, where am I going to be having time and space? We have a retreat coming up in September that we're planning. By the way, send me a message if you're getting this in time. It's the middle of September and you want to come. We're going to be at a beautiful lake house just outside of Charlotte in North Carolina. And I know that's going to invite this inner writer to come out and play. That's why I do these retreats, right? About a month later, I know I'm going to be in another space supporting body-mind retreat. And that's going to invite that inner writer in, right? So I'm noticing some patterns where I can plan once a month where there's some really intentional places and spaces that I can put myself in to activate that inner writer within. So just to recap, be open and receptive to that inner writer. She wants to come out and hang out. Intentionally put yourself in the spaces that inspire you. And if we can't always be in those spaces, which is not necessarily practical, how can we embody the feeling we have, right? Can I look at an image? Can I listen to something? Can I close my eyes and do a visualization, right? To bring that feeling, call that feeling forth and activate that writer within. And then with all of these, consistently plan for it, right? Consistently plan for it. Put it on your schedule. Look in your day as you are setting up the next day. Where can I consistently plan within my day, not an extra outside, but within my daily goings-ons to activate and create this invitation? Trust me when I say that inner writer is ready. She wants to come out. She wants to be heard. And sometimes we just don't invite her. So I love this idea of how to invite your writer within to come out and play. So I'm curious, moving forward after this episode, how do you want to invite that writer within to come out and play with you today? As always, I want to hear your feedback. Let me know what shows up for you, what resonates, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Written Compass. If you are enjoying this content, do me a favor and go and review the podcast. This allows me to share and get these messages out to the people who really need them, who we want to read their books in the future. You can also go and share your thoughts and tag me at Shana Hartman _ on Instagram. Again, this is just a way for us to get connected and share the writing love. And if you know that you are ready to write your book, that message that's been burning inside of you for a long time, then I want to talk to you. My team and I want to talk to you. Head on over to shanahartman.com and click Work with Us. From there, you'll see an application to explore and see if writing your book is your next best step.